Hello, my name is Victor, and today we will be looking at how to graph a linear function in slope-intercept form, so y equals mx plus b. So before we see how to graph a linear function, these are things that you need to remember. First, f of x and y are essentially the same thing. The only difference is that f of x represents function notation. Second, the general trend for when the slope is positive is one that is leaning towards the right. So see this little graph? See the red line, how it's leaning towards the right? That's when your slope is positive. Now, the general trend when the slope is negative, it's the graph, the line is leaning towards the left. So see this little graph, see how the red line is leaning towards the left? That's when your slope is negative. Now, m stands for slope, and slope is equal to rise over run, or change over y over change over x. B stands for the y-intercept, and that is where the linear function crosses the y-axis. So let's look at an example, putting all these things together. So we have the function y is equal to 3x minus 1. Okay? Our rise is 3. So 1, 2, 3, we go up 3, and then our run is 1. We go to the left, to the right 1. So we have 3 over 1, which is equal to 3. So our slope is equal to 3. When you look at the line, at the linear equation, the number in front of the x, that's your m, that's your slope. Okay? And then for your y-intercept, this is your b. So your y-intercept is your b. Let me do it again. So your y-intercept is your b. And so this is where you put the y-intercept. So where it crosses the y-axis. So since our b is equal to -1, we're going to plot it here, where y is equal to -1. Okay? And then notice how this line is leaning towards the right. And that's because our slope is positive. Okay? Now let's move on. So let's look at an example. Let's graph y is equal to 3/2 x plus 2. So the first thing you want to do is you want to label your slope. So m. You're going to put m is equal to 3/2. Okay? Now, for your second step, you want to label your y-intercept. So remember, your y-intercept is this part, your constant. So plus b. Okay? So you're going to say b is equal to 2. After you do this, you're going to plot your y-intercept. So you're going to go back to your graph, and you're going to look where y is equal to 2 in the y-axis. So you're going to go, where is y equal to 2? So right here. So you're going to plot that point. Then you're going to look at your slope. Okay? And then you're going to look at your rise over your run. So remember, your rise is a number on your numerator, and then your run is a number on your denominator. Okay? First, we're going to focus on a run. If our slope is positive, for a run, we're going to go towards the right. If our slope is negative, for the run, we're going to go towards the left. What do I mean by this? Okay? So in this one, our slope is positive, and the run is 2. Since our slope is positive, we're going to go 2 units towards the right. So 1, 2. Okay? And then we're going to look at our rise. Our rise is equal to 3. So we're going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to plot a point right here. Now we're going to connect those 2 points. When graphing a linear function, you only need 2 points, okay, to create the line. So we connect them. And there you go. And you're done. Now let's look at a second example. So in here, we have the function f of x is equal to -2x minus y. Remember, f of x is the same thing as y. So you're going to write y is equal to -2x minus 1. Okay, remember, first step is to label your slope. So m is equal to -2. Remember, your slope is a number in front of your x, so -2. And then you're going to label your y-intercept, or your b. Your b here is equal to -1. Okay? So your constant. Your second step is to plot your y-intercept. So you're going to go back to the coordinate plane. You're going to look at the y-axis and see where y is equal to -1. So here, you look at this point. This is where y is equal to -1. Okay? Then, you're going to look at your slope. And you want to have rise over run. Notice how this one is not in fraction form. You can compare it to fraction form by putting -2 over 1. -2 divided by 1 is equal to -2. So it's the same thing. Okay. Now we're going to look at our run. Our run is 1. Okay? But since our slope is negative, instead of going 1 towards the right, we're going to go 1 towards the left. Okay? So we're going to go for a run 1. Okay? Then we're going to go up 2 because our rise is equal to 2. So we're going to go 1 and 2. So this is 1 point right here. Next, let's do it again. So we're going to go 1 towards the left because the slope is negative, and then we're going to 2 for our rise. 2, and then another point right here. And again, 1 towards the left for a run, and 2 up for a rise. Okay, and then we connect the points. And remember, you only need 2 points, okay? You don't need 3 or 4. You could do 3 or 4, but you only need 2. So let me connect them. And notice how our line is leaning towards the left. That's because our slope is negative, okay? Well, that's it for today. Thank you for listening.